Thank you so much, ma'am, for your extraordinary and interactive speech. Thanks a lot. Now, I would like to invite our professor and founder and director of AIMS Lab at United International University, Dr. Khandekar Al-Mamun sir. Sir, please come up on the stage and say a few words about IoT in healthcare. Thank you. Request our respected VC sir, please come up on the stage and hand over the crest to our honorable guests. A big round of applause for our VC sir.
So thank you so much, and very good morning. This Cisco Network Academy have lots of meaning to me, because this academy started with my hand, and in 2007, I actually take the initiative with Mamun Elahi to launch this Cisco Academy, and I actually give the talk on the first seminar of launching of Cisco Academy. So now today is 2019, and after 12 years, I'm talking about in Cisco Network Academy program. But not in Cisco, but in 12 years back, I talked about what is the importance of Cisco and your career in Cisco Network Engineer. And today I'm talking about that IoT in healthcare. So thank you for inviting me. So I'm going to describe about the IoT in healthcare in two aspects. One is what the technological revolution is happening around us, and also what actually we are doing and utilizing IoT and IoT-based platform in Bangladesh and to improve the healthcare. So let's start. At first, I would like to discuss about the healthcare crisis. So healthcare crisis is not only in Bangladesh, it's a global problem. So if we look into the developed country, healthcare cost is rising, and due to the rising of the cost, the most important reason is aging population and also the increase of chronic diseases like diabetes, hypertension. However, country like Bangladesh, healthcare is very difficult. Access to basic healthcare is very difficult, and especially the infrastructure limitation as well as a lot of increase of chronic diseases. Let's talk about fourth industrial revolution. So we actually discuss about the first industrial revolution when the steam engine evolved, and then second industrial revolution when the electricity actually started to produce and in the manufacturing industries. And third industrial revolution is about the use of computer, right? But we are in the era of fourth industrial revolution. And in fourth industrial revolution, there is two major things. One is information, another is extracting intelligence from the information. And how, as most importantly, is all about artificial intelligence and big data. And this artificial intelligence and big data actually mainly built on the IoT and the cloud. So we can utilize the fourth industrial revolution technologies like IoT for healthcare. So if I talk about what is IoT, I think everyone, we are excited about IoT, big data is like a buzzword nowadays, right? But what is IoT? If we think about that, it's a connected world. We can get the information from anyone, from anything, any place, or any service. Everything is generating data. And that means huge amount of data IoT can generate, right? So if we think about the healthcare IoT, then we can think about the healthcare means all about the wellness, treatment, medication. It could be at your home, it could be in your hospital. So that means all the devices and medications you using, that actually can be customized based on the IoT platform. Like we can define a customized medication based on your body metabolism. That means your body is sending a lot of information, and based on that, your dose in the lunchtime could be different than your dose in the dinner time, based on the data. Because data actually driving your healthcare. So if we look into the healthcare ecosystem, so there is a lot of things. One is we can stay in the hospitals, we can stay at home, we use a lot of sensors for medical data, care, and also stakeholders like nurse, doctors, caregivers, and so on. That means we can see here all are connected, and that can generate a lot of data for the decisions. If we look into more areas, that what are the areas of healthcare we can have, like diagnosis, treatment, rehab, health education, behavior, wellness, and you can see there's a lot of components here, right? So all of these things generate a lot of data. So IoT in healthcare, that means we actually using different types of sensors to get data from our care. Again, it could be from hospitals, it could be from home, or it could be when you're walking, and so on. Like, everyone knows about the smartwatch, right? How many you have the smartwatch? Raise your hand. Only one? Come on. A smartwatch is so cheap, 300 taka. So, like what I'm talking about is smartwatch, like a smartwatch generating a lot of data. Now the question is it a useful data? It depends on how you design the system, okay? But a smartwatch also generating a data. Let's see what actually presently IoT solution offered in the market. See, so IoT solution is using for clinical efficiency. That means we can use IoT sensors for in the ICU. Like nowadays, what happening in ICU in Dhaka, that means patients are used a lot of sensors in their fingers, in their body, but there is no communication between doctors of this data. But because these sensors are standalone, these sensors are not connected to the internet. So that's why sometimes our care is not efficient. We blaming doctors, we blaming hospitals. However, if all the information gathering in the ICU, that can generate to make the decision for the doctors, and intelligence can help doctors to make better decisions, then care could be much better. So we can see that IoT, where it can help us, is clinical efficiency, consumer and home monitoring, that we already said is smartwatches. Okay. Recently, Apple launched a smartwatch, the Apple Watch. It can detect your ECG, and it actually got the FDA approval that it can detect your ECG, that if ECG is normal or not. So you can see the Fitbit, like fitness program, infant monitoring. Like when the infant is in an incubator in hospitals, there is a continuing monitoring is very important. That can save lives. So that is another example. So IoT-based biometrics, and most excitingly, sleeping. In Bangladesh, we don't care about the sleeping, but in developed world, good sleep is very important for everyday life. Like CEO of the company, his sleep is very important. So there is a devices that can monitor sleeps, okay? And most importantly, brain. How can we understand the brain information? How our neuron process information inside the brain? All of these things can be acquired, monitored, and help us to make decision using intelligence. So if I go next, you can see, I named number of like device name, like kidney dialysis or X-ray and the ultrasound. Nowadays, most of the devices are standalone. They are not connected. So if we can integrate to IoT, all of the devices, they can generate huge amount of data. And in that way, we can make better decisions. So, if we like summarize the things, what benefits can IoT bring to the healthcare? And in America, there is a research saying that if we introduce IoT in healthcare in all the places that it needed, 30% of the capital replacement saving, 30%, huge savings, and 60% reduction of maintenance. And again, the satisfaction. I think in our country, can you raise your hand, how many of you are happy with healthcare services? How many? Raise your hand. Nobody happy? No, right? So it's saying that if IoT in place, then the complaint of the patient will reduce and improve reliability. However, we are talking about the benefits of IoT, a lot of benefit, right? But there is a lot of risk in there. So I will discuss about the risk. So in a nutshell, we can say that using the IoT, we can think about the satisfaction, better treatment, and our health record, which is most important. And in the US, there is a health record is like mandatory, and for our country, it's just beginning. So, and also the patient engagement care. In our country, the care is more doctor-driven, but in US now, care is more patient-driven. So, in that context, it's saying that if we introduce IoT in healthcare, we can save, we can increase satisfaction, and it also requires security on the data management. So far I'm talking about the IoT and data, like IoT sensors that can generate a lot of data. However, how can we manage this data? The bigger picture is three things. One is artificial intelligence, machine learning, then we can utilize the IoT. If we use IoT alone, that is useless. So we can generate a lot of data, but if we don't use the data for decision making, that is useless. So that means we have to use artificial intelligence and machine learning for use of IoT. I will show you some examples how that IoT and artificial intelligence machine learning can help us in the future healthcare. So in Stanford University in US, so they actually published a recent paper saying that based on the ECG and this IoT based ECG, that it actually captured the ECG signals and it sent data to the cloud, and in the cloud they have a machine learning algorithms that can detect someone have a heart problem or not. And they clinically verified that the level of detection is equivalent to cardiologist. So see, so that means they actually developed a lot of trials, and after that they actually claiming that. Again, there is a like heart pacemaker, brain pacemaker, that also can connect to the cloud and that can make the decisions. Next, anyone here heard about the IBM Watson? Raise your hand. How many of you? Only two. So IBM Watson is one of the biggest big data platform. Actually, it also getting a lot of data. It could be from direct entry, it could be from IoT sensors. And that also helping us to improving the healthcare. Can anyone know about the artificial kidney? Do I know about artificial kidney? So clinical trial of artificial kidney is almost done. So again, the artificial organ can be set into the body, and that organ can communicate other part of the body and send data and adjust based on the IoT sensors data and decisions. Okay? So these are the all fancy beauty things, but the issue is, what are the challenges? So when we want to utilize the IoT, we need new knowledge and skills. And as well as we have to ensure privacy, security, and reliability. Because more data, more challenges. So you guys who are interested to work on IoT, which is exciting, but you have to remember what are the challenge, threat you have to face. So the risk, you have to use a lot of advanced technologies to actually reduce the risk. And also there is other issues, challenges they have to face about the law of the country. Because when you're generating data, you're actually generating a lot of personalized data, personal data. That actually creates a privacy threat and security threat. So we have to think about that. And when you think about the IoT data, then you have to know another word is a blockchain. That most advanced encryption method. Okay? So today I'm just giving you just a perception of IoT in healthcare. But we are excited about data science, IoT, but we have to go into the deep that how can I develop my skills to actually tap into the market? How can I develop my skill to work in IoT in healthcare market? So blockchain is one of the biggest technology for reducing the risk of security in data. So I actually want to give you a mathematical model of healthcare. So the mathematical model of cure is 3 components. One is medication, one is adherence, and lifestyle. So what we are used to it, we only take medication if we are sick. But adherence and lifestyle is almost missing. However, if we utilize IoT, adherence and lifestyle information can be extracted and it can be used to improve cure. And when we see the scientific correlation between cure and our medication, when we see only medication, the correlation is very low about the cure. However, when we add adherence and lifestyle, correlation is very high. But as a human, we are very neglected on that. But if we use IoT sensors, that will help us to improve that situations. Now, so this is all about very basic perceptions of IoT, what directions we are heading and what is the future, right? Now, let's come to our country. What we are doing in UIU and Bangladesh. So CMED is one of the successful IoT and artificial intelligence driven healthcare platform we are developing in Bangladesh. And you will be proud to know that it is actually born in United International University. You know this campus, right? So this is the birthplace of CMED. So CMED actually utilizing IoT sensors and also artificial intelligence to actually solve the basic primary healthcare problem in Bangladesh. So why CMED actually evolved? So in Bangladesh, 67% death happening due to diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and kidney disease, liver disease, and so on. So interestingly, 90% of diseases is preventable. 90% of these diseases is preventable. So how? There's the solution. We actually trying to fully build. We just started, we're trying to build. So as I said that we are very used to taking the medication, but we are not used to change our lifestyle, monitor our health, and taking the feedback according to my need, that is customized feedback, right? So to address this need, we actually integrated IoT-based sensors. You can see here. Oh, sorry. So you can see here, this is the sensors. These have like number of IoT-based sensors here. So that sensors actually capture the data from the human body, and that data sent to the cloud. In the cloud, we have a decision support system we call clinical decision support system. And that actually generate the decision based on the parameters. So it gives individual customized feedback, and for each person, it is storing data in the cloud. And based on the data, we are hoping to develop a prediction model that when someone have a stroke or heart attack, which is very ambitious, but maybe in one day, in next 5 years, we can able to produce that you are the one, you have a risk of heart attack, you should be very careful, okay? So you can see here, this is a glucose test for diabetes. You can see, you putting the blood in the glucose strip, and glucose machine actually connected to your mobile phone. And your mobile phone is connected to your cloud through internet, right? So, in a similar way, we use the Bluetooth audio port to connect the device and the mobile and device is your IoT sensors to gather the data and send to the cloud. So you can see here there is a number of devices that actually measures your blood pressure, blood glucose, weight, height, BMI, temperatures, and your like spirometer, like about your like lungs health, right, and so on. So what it do? It actually giving you personalized information about your health and advising you what to do, what not to do, and how to manage your personal well-being. Okay? So now see what we are trying to build in Bangladesh based on this platform. You can see here. So I think here many of you came from the rural areas, right? So if we look into that, this is a community. So we are building a community healthcare. Like we have a health worker who have a IoT-based sensors in their kit and the mobile platforms. So they actually go door to door and measuring health parameters and sending data to the cloud. And based on the cloud decisions, they can be referred to our healthcare systems like community clinic, Upazila Health Complex, hospitals, and super specialized hospitals. So in that way, we getting huge amount of data, and that data help us to make the decisions, allocating resources, mobilizing resources. Like what happened in one hospital, doctors are like many doctors are there, and another hospital doesn't have the doctor. So we can mapping the resources. So you can see here, we can you use that data to make the decisions by the policymakers, government, NGO, and INGO. So this is a kind of true IoT healthcare platforms where we can gathering a lot of data and use the data to improve the healthcare. So you can see we only use 10 parameters here, And gradually we increasing parameters like we including ECG, ultrasound, hemoglobin, and so on. So in one day, maybe after 10 years or 20 years, every device human can use will be connected to the internet. So this is the things. So this is the model, how it works. So using the IoT sensors, we're getting the health information from the patient based on their data. Our intelligence will make the decisions, and if needed, they will connect to the doctors for the telemedicines. So we call it that it's an ecosystem that you are in a workplace, you get healthcare, primary healthcare. You are in home, you can get healthcare, or you are in a like bazaar, you can go to the healthcare. Call your nearest health assistant, and he will come up with the IoT devices and the platform and do your measurement and give you instant feedback. If necessary, they will send to you doctors, or you can get the telemedications when needed. So hopefully we just started, and one day we'll build one of the biggest healthcare platform using IoT and artificial intelligence. So let's give you a scenario what it can do. So this is a program of PKSM, one of the biggest NGO. It's called Enrich. We're utilizing this platform that we actually described. In one union, they have 32,000 populations. And every citizen have their own health account. And every day their data is inserting in their own health account. And from there, we can sit here, we can see who is suffering malaria, who is paralyzed, and which house have the safe drinking water, who are sick, and how many population, each and everything. And we can point it out that which house have the diabetic patient, which house have the stroke patient, based on that. So this is the service you can see here that actually happening. These are all sensors are IoT enabled. So this is something very amazing. You can see here, each person have some symbolic information. That symbolic information showing that is he a freedom fighter? Is he have a diabetic or not? Is he male or female? Is the main person of the household? Lot of other information we can get in. Just look into it and get the information. So you see, these are the pictures that actually resonating the impact of these services. You see this 80 years lady, she is getting the health service using the IoT devices and the platform in her doorsteps. So this is one of the implementation. We are doing it last 9 months, and it is successfully running, and we are scaling to 200 unions in next 2 years. So this is another program we actually launched last month in Shirazganj. This is also another NCD prevention program. It have NCD prevention program by DGHS is for screening people if they have any risk of NCDs. If yes, they will send to community clinic, auto referral. If they go to the community clinic without referral, they will not get the service. Streamlining referral, right? So here, when they go to the community clinic, the community health worker can see the person's all the health information and do the measurement using IoT devices. And then, if they have a risk, the system automatically refers to the Upazila Health Complex for the diagnosis and treatment. This is in a hospital. They can see the history and what medication they are taking, what are the complaints, everything they can see. And before they use this, now this comes to here, and they also using all the IoT devices and the platforms. So this is something we started last month. So this is something we are trying to achieve using this technology. Our very achievable things is sustainable development goal. And using this CMET platform, we already serve 100,000 population, and also covering more. So now, what is next is coming. We, in Ames Lab, in UIU, we are actually developing like mobile-based, if I think about the mobile is an IoT device, mobile-based eye screening, other neurological disorders. So one of the example is we are trying to actually capture someone have a movement disorder or not using mobile phone, okay? And also other is brain-machine interface. Think about it. You have here you can see that you have a brain sensor in your head, and you just see a phone call in front of your phone. You don't want to touch your phone. You just think about it, that I want to receive phone or I don't want to receive phone, and it will work. And we already made that here, right? So this is the future is coming. So, and you can see that we can turn on and off light here. So that is the things we are doing in UIU. I think many of you don't know about what is happening in Ames Lab, but my suggestion is to everyone, work hard and explore around you, and don't run after IoT, go into the IoT, okay? So this is the some of the achievement that we did on healthcare based work. So we want to see that IoT actually help us to connect people and saving lives. And we want to use this technology to keep this smile continue. Thank you so much. Any question? No question means everyone understand my presentation or no one understand anything. So you can decide yourself that which group you want to go. Yes, please. Okay. He said something perceptual. This is a kind of perception. It could be true, it could be not true. I am not totally agree with him. I'm not disagreeing with him as well. So thing is, this is a challenge, and I call it's an opportunity. So it's your call, how you making or converting this challenge to your opportunity. So I'm trying to do that. And I know what you said is very difficult, but every day we're improving. And one day we can make it happen. Okay? Any more questions? No questions? I think thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we have an idea how IoT has changed our life, especially healthcare. Now, again, I would like to request Dr. Salikul Islam, sir, please come up on the stage and hand over the crest to our favorite Khondokar Abdulal Mamun, sir. Thank you. Going to break, I would like to invite our honorable guest, all of honorable guests, please come up on the stage. We will take a picture. Thank you.